The Winnipeg Jets have just clinched the President's Trophy as well as the Western Conference and Central Division. The Knights are for the fourth time in their franchise history kings of the Pacific Division. We've got our first two Western Conference series locked in, and on top of that, the Jackets and Flames keep their playoff hopes alive while the Red Wings and New York teams are gone. We'll get to all the game recaps from our past couple days and how it affected the standings coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the End-to-End Hockey channel. For beginning this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe below. Thank you for all of your support. I would never do this without you guys. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. It really does help the channel. And we're on the road to 500 subscribers. And don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. So in today's video, we got another game recap video to discuss. Lots of intriguing games happened over the past couple of days and affected the standings. So get to all the game recaps from our past couple of days. We saw 5 games over on Friday, 11 over on Saturday, 9 over on Sunday. So get to all those games here. So first, we saw the Pittsburgh Penguins over on Friday scored 4 unanswered goals, and after falling behind, came back and took down the New Jersey Devils 4-2. As the Penguins have won 3 of 4 and improved to 33, 35, and 12, while the Devils fall 41, 31, 7 on the year. So it's a bad loss there for New Jersey. For the Penguins, Rust, Crosby, and Malkin all had goal and an assist. Grizzlies had 2 assists, and Buchanan also scored for the Penguins in the win, while Hall and Palat were 2 goal scorers for the Devils in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but it was a bad loss there for New Jersey. Then we saw the Red Wings, for the time being at least, over on Friday, keep their slim playoff hopes alive as they overcame a late third period deficit and beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3 in overtime. Thanks to this goal here from Marco Kasper on Uncle Square Sportsnet, but they would stave off elimination for one more day as they have a point 5-7 and improved to 37, 35, and 7, while the Bolts have lost 4 of 5, do have a 4-game point streak, but fall to 45, 26, and 8. So they do gain a tiny bit in the race for top spot in the Atlantic. For the Red Wings, Kasper scored twice, including the OT winner. Kane had a goal and an assist, and Mott also scored for the Red Wings in the win, while Goncal scored twice, Sorelli had a goal and an assist, and Hagel added 2 assists for the Bolts in the overtime loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Red Wings come away with a much needed 2 points. Then we saw that Ottawa Senators jumped out to a 3-goal lead and beat the Montreal Canadiens 5-2 quite handedly, as the Sens have won 4 of 5 and improved to 43, 30, and 6, while the Canadiens had their 6-game win streak end and fall to 39, 31, and 9. That was the first time this year Ottawa beat Montreal, and it stops Montreal from clinching for one more day. For the Senators, Pinto scored twice, Greg had a goal and an assist, Amadio had 2 assists, and Cousins and Batherson both also scored for Senators in the win, while Levark and Suzuki were 2 goal scorers for the Canadiens in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but that's a bad loss there from Ottawa. Then we saw the Edmonton Oilers break a tie in the third period and beat San Jose 4-2, as they have won 5 of 7, improved to 46, 28, 5, and were officially clinched a playoff spot. So they are the 6th team in the Western Conference to have clinched a playoff spot. It's really good stuff there, as they have locked their place in the playoffs. While the Sharks have lost 8 straight and fall at 20, 48, and 11. So it's a bad loss there for San Jose. For the Oilers, McDavid had 4 assists, Bouchard had a goal and an assist, Henrique had 2 assists, and Emberton scored his first as an Oiler. Brown and Perry also scored for the Oilers in the win, while Thornton and Smith were 2 goal scorers for the Sharks in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Oilers punched their ticket into the playoffs by beating San Jose. And then in the final game over on Friday, we saw the Calgary Flames open up a 4-goal lead, and in what was a must-win game, took down the Minnesota Wild 4-2, as they have a 5-game point streak, improved to 38, 27, 14, and stay alive for a chance for playoffs, while the Wild have lost 5 of 7, fall to 43, 30, and 7, and their playoff chances do take a big hit. For the Flames, Sharangovich, Kadri, Longberg, and Backlund were 4 goal scorers for the Flames in the win, while Nyquist and Trinan were 2 goal scorers for the Wild in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Calgary comes away with the 4-2 victory and keeps their playoff hopes alive. Those were 5 games we saw over on Friday, going over to the 11 we saw over on Saturday. First, we saw the Columbus Blue Jackets, and what was a must-win game for them at this point, opened the scoring and dismantled the Washington Capitals 7-0, as the Jackets have won 3 straight and improved to 37, 33, and 9, while the Capitals have lost 6 of 9 and fall to 50, 20, and 9. It's a bad loss there from Washington. For the Jackets, James and Rimsek had 3.9 goal to assist, Fantilli scored twice, Monahan and Johnson both had goal and assist, Sillinger and Werenski both also scored, and Grease stopped all 22 shots he faced in the shutout and win for the Jackets. That was a complete effort there from Columbus as they stay alive. Then we saw Philadelphia Flyers blow a late third period lead but recovered and beat the New York Islanders 4-3 in a shootout, as they have won 5 of 6 and improved to 33, 37, and 9, while the Islanders have lost 3 straight, 9 of 11, fall to 34, 33, and 12, and even even though they got into overtime with the shootout loss, the Islanders have been eliminated from playoff contention. So they staved off elimination for quite a long time. They were at some points looking like they might get that last wildcard spot, but they do wind up missing. For the Flyers, Forrester scored twice, Tippett had 2 assists, Pelche also scored in regulation, and Brink was the lone field goal scorer for the Flyers in the win, while Lee, Horvat, and Dobson all had goal and assists, and D'Angelo added 2 assists for the Islanders in the shootout loss. It was an intriguing game there, but with the loss, New York guy is eliminated from contention. Then we saw the Carolina Hurricanes jump out to a 4-goal lead and took down the New York Rangers 7-3, as they've ended their 4-game losing streak and improved to 47-27-5. Good win there for Carolina. Well, the Rangers have lost 4 of 5, fall 37-36-7, and with the loss have been eliminated from playoff contention. So after going from the President's Trophy winning team and being 2 wins away from the Cup final last year, the Rangers are now missing the playoffs. So only the 4th time in NHL history that a team's gone from winning the President's Trophy to being eliminated from playoff contention. So just an absolutely awful season there from the Rangers this year, and fitting that it comes at the hands of the Carolina Hurricanes. For Carolina, Jarvis had 3.8, goal, 2 assists. Stahl and Blake both had goal and assists. Aho had 2 assists, and Stankoven, Chatfield, Martinuk, and Jankowski also scored for the Hurricanes in the win. While JT Miller had goal and assists, Panarin and Trocheck both had 2 assists, and Cooley and Fox both also scored for the Rangers in the loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but Carolina dominates from start to finish, and they're able to eliminate the New York Rangers. And we saw the LA Kings blow a 2-goal lead, but recovered and narrowly took down the Colorado Avalanche 5-4, as they have won 6 of 7 and improved to 46-24-9, getting closer to home ice advantage. Well, the Avalanche have lost 3 of 4 and fall to 48-29-4, so it's a bad loss there for Colorado. For the Kings, Byfield, who had a goal and 2 assists, and LaFerriere, who had a goal and 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. Fiala scored twice, Kuzmenko had 2 assists, and Kopitar also scored for the Kings in the win, while Nelson scored twice, Nichushkin had a goal and assist, and Malinsky also scored for the Avalanche in the loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but that's a bad loss there from Colorado. Then we saw the Florida Panthers blow a 3rd period lead, but recovered and took down Buffalo 3-2 in a shootout. As for the time being, they had kept their hopes alive for Atlantic Division title and have won 3 straight, improving to 47-29-4. While the Sabres have a point of 6 of 7, but fall to 35-37-7. For the Panthers, Verge had goal and assist. Puliarvi first as a Panther, also scored in regulation, and Lundell was one shield goal scorer for the Panthers in the win, while Dali and Peterka both had goal and assist for the Sabres in the shootout loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Panthers come away on top. Then we saw Winnipeg Jets blow a lead and tie it late and got a win over the Chicago Blackhawks 5-4 in a shootout, as they won 3 straight, 4 of 5, improved to 55-21-4, and with the win, locked up the Western Conference and the Central Division. The Stars, after that win, could not catch the Winnipeg Jets. So that locked the Jets into the top spot in the West. They will play whoever finishes in the second wildcard position. And on top of that, with that win, that locks in a Dallas Stars Colorado Avalanche first round matchup. That's going to be a bloodbath of a series, but because of the Jets win, Stars will host Avalanche in the first round. For the Jets, Morrissey scored twice, Connor had a goal and an assist, Niederreiter also scored in regulation, and Connor and Perfetti were 2 shield goal scorers for Jets in the win, while Nazar and Bedard both had a goal and an assist. Donato and Foligno both also scored in regulation, and Bedard was one shield goal scorer for the Hawks in the shootout loss. It was an intriguing game there, but an impressive win there from Winnipeg. Then we saw the Toronto Maple Leafs take down the Montreal Canadiens in a very low defensive battle, 1-0 in overtime, as they won 6 of 7 and improved to 49-26-4 and inched towards the Atlantic Division title, while the Habs, who once again failed to clinch that last wildcard spot, fall to 39-31 and tail in the year. So it's a bad loss there for Montreal. For the Leafs, Martin, who had the OT winner, was a lone goal scorer, and Stolarz stopped all 15 shots he faced in the shutout and win for Toronto, while Dobes stopped 34-35 shots he faced in the overtime loss for the Canadiens. So it was an intriguing game there, but another fail opportunity for Montreal to clinch a playoff berth. Then we saw the Utah Hockey Club score 3 unanswered goals and took down the Dallas Stars 5-3, as they have a 4-game point streak and improved to 37-30-13, while the Stars fall to 15-24-6, having lost 5 straight. So a bad stretch here for Dallas. For Utah, Cooley had 3.8, goal, 2 assists. Hayden had a goal and assist. Gunther and McBain both had 2 assists. And Schmalz and Doan and Jersey also scored for Utah in the win, while Randon had 2 assists, and Robertson, Johnson, and Smith versus a Star were 3 goal scorers for the Stars in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Utah's definitely going off on a high note with a very fantastic victory. Then we saw the Vegas Golden Knights blow a 2-goal lead, but recovered and beat the Nashville Predators 5-3, as they have a 5-game point streak, improved to 49-29 22-9, and with the win, clinched the Pacific Division. At that point, the Kings could not catch them, so they are officially Pacific Division champions again, while the Nashville Predators have lost 7-9 and fall at 29-43-8. So it's a bad loss there for Nashville. And with that win, that also locked in a first-round series of Kings and Oilers. At this point in time, we don't know who's going to host that series, but the Kings and Oilers will play in the first round for the 4th year in a row. For the Knights, Roy and Howden both had goal and assists, Smith had 2 assists, and Hannafin, Holtz, and Barbashev also scored for the Knights in the win, while Evangelista had 2 assists, and Marshall, Delgazio, and Osterley were 3 goal scorers for the Predators in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Knights lock up the Pacific Division. Then we saw Minnesota Wild overcome a 2-goal deficit and scored 3 straight to get a massive victory over the Vancouver Canucks 3-2 in overtime, as they have won 3 of 4 and improved to 44-30-7, while the Canucks have a 3-game point streak before 37-29-14. So it's a bad loss there from Vancouver. For the Wild, Faber had a goal and an assist, and Zuccarello had the OT winner, and Foligno both also scored for Wild in the win, while DeBrusk and Marcus Pettersson scored first as a Canuck, were 2 goal scorers for Canucks in the overtime loss. It was an intriguing game there. Canucks had a lead, but blew it and fell to the hands of the Minnesota Wild. And then we saw Seattle Kraken overcome a 3rd-period deficit and beat the St. Louis Blues, and what was a massive loss point there from St. Louis, 4-3 in a shootout, as the Kraken have won 4 of 6 and improved to 35-40-6, while the Blues have lost 3 straight and fall 43-30-8. They have 1 game left in the season, and there's a possibility the Flames could still catch them. For the Kraken, Karchi had 2 assists, Eisenman, Schwartz, and Wright were 3 regulation goal scorers, and Tolvin and Kako and Stevenson were 3 shield goal scorers for Kraken in the win, while Leddy had goal and assist, Parayko and Fox also scored in regulation, and Thomas and Neighbors were 2 shield goal scorers for the Blues in the shield loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Kraken upset the St. Louis Blues. Those were the 11 games we saw over on Saturday. Going over to the 9 we saw over on Sunday. First, we saw the New York Islanders open the scoring and shut out the New Jersey Devils 1-0, as the Islanders have ended their 3-game losing streak and improved to 35-33-12. However, they are still now eliminated, while the Devils have lost 3 straight and fall 41-32-7. Like I said, limping into the playoffs. For the Islanders, Horvat was the lone goal scorer, and Sorokin stopped all 25 shots he faced in the shutout and win for the Islanders, while Markstrom stopped 21-22 shots he faced in the loss for the Devils. So an intriguing game there, but the Devils still haven't hit the 90-point plateau. Then we saw the Ottawa Senators overcome multiple deficits, beat Philadelphia 4-3 in overtime, as they've won 5 of 6 and improved to 44-30-6. Just keep on winning. That would lock them into the first wildcard position, and they will go to whoever wins the Atlantic, while Philadelphia has a 3-game point streak but fall 33-37-10. So it's a bad loss there from Philly. For the Senators, Tuchel had 2 goals, including the OT winner and an assist, and Chabot, who had a goal and 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. Zetterlund also scored for Senators in the win, while Hathaway had a goal and an assist, and Larry and Cates also scored for Flyers in the overtime loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but it was the Senators coming with the victory. Then we saw Boston open with a 3-goal lead and take down Pittsburgh 4-1, as they have improved to 33-39-9, dropping the Penguins to 33-36-12. For the Bruins, Elias Lindholm had a goal and an assist, Pasternak and Zaka both had 2 assists, and Lysell, who scored his first career NHL goal, Geeky and Lauko also scored, with Corpusalo stopping 31-32 shots he faced in the win for the Bruins, while Raquel was 1 goal scorer for Penguins in the loss, so a battle of 2 eliminated teams. Boston comes away on top. Then we saw the Toronto Maple Leafs open up a 3-goal lead and beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1, as they've won 3 straight, 7 of 8, and improved to 50-26-4. If they gain just 1 more point, they clinch the Atlantic, while the Hurricanes have lost 5 of 6 and fall to 47-28-5. It's a bad stretch here for Carolina entering the playoffs. For the Leafs, Riley had 3 assists, Domi had 2 assists, Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, and Holmberg were 4 goal scorers, and Wolf stopped 25 of 26 shots he faced in the win for the Leafs, while Aho was lone goal scorer for the Canes in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but an impressive win there from Toronto. Then we saw Tampa Bay Lightning score 5 straight goals and took down the Buffalo Sabres 7-4, as the Bolts have a 5-game point streak and improved to 46-26-8, while the Sabres have lost 3 straight and fall 35-38-7. It's a bad stretch here for Buffalo. For the Bolts, Kucherov, who had 2 goals and assists, and Hagel, who had 3 assists, both had 3-point nights. Gensel scored twice, Sorelli and Goncalves both had 2 assists, and Geeky, McDonough, and Lilleberger scored his first career NHL goal, also scored for the Bolts in the win, while Dahlin had 2 assists, and Clifton, Lafferty, Tuck, and Kulik were 4 goal scorers for Sabres in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Bolts stay alive barely for the top spot in the Atlantic. Then we saw Columbus Blue Jackets score 4 unanswered goals, including this goal here from Fantilli and Alco Square Sportsnet, but Fantilli was able to get the go-ahead goal and wound up being the game winner, as Columbus would score 4 unanswered and take down Washington 4-1. As the Jackets have won 4 straight, improved to 38-33-9, and keep their hopes alive for a playoff spot, while the Washington Capitals have lost 3 of 4 and fall 50-21-9. So it's a bad loss there for Washington. For the Jackets, Fantilli scored twice, Voronkov and Werenski both also scored, and Greaves stopped 29 of 30 shots he faced in the win for the Jackets, while Ovechkin, who's now only 4 away from 900 goals on his career, was the lone goal scorer for the Capitals in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but impressive victory there from Columbus. Then we saw the Edmonton Oilers break a tie in the second period, and they took down the Winnipeg Jets 4-1, as the Oilers have won 3 straight 6 of 8 and improved to 47-28-5, keeping their hopes for home ice advantage alive, while the Jets have their 3-game win streak end and fall to 55-22-4. But even with the loss, because the Capitals lost, the Jets have officially clinched the President's Trophy. So the Jets will be the best team in the regular season this year, and it's not looking good for them to be a Stanley Cup finalist, because teams who win the President's Trophy don't usually get to the Stanley Cup. So we'll have to wait and see on how the Jets do this year in the playoffs. For the Oilers, Perry had a goal and an assist, McDavid had 2 assists, Brown, Robertson, Henrique also scored, and Skinner stopped 17-18 shots he faced in the win for the Oilers, while Iafallo was lone goal scorer for the Oilers in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but an impressive victory there from the Oilers, keeping their hopes alive for home ice. And then the last game we saw over on Sunday was between the Flames and the Sharks, as the Flames scored 3 unanswered goals in the third and kept their playoff hopes alive by beating the San Jose Sharks 5-2, as they have a 6-game point streak and improved to 39-27-14, while the Sharks have lost 9 straight and fall to 20-49-11. For the Flames, Sharon Gover scored twice, Klavka had a goal and an assist, Huberdeau had 2 assists, and Miguel and Coronado both also scored. For Flames in the win, well, Toffoli had a goal and an assist, and Ruda also scored for the Sharks in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but a really impressive victory there from Calgary to keep their playoff hopes alive. So those are all the games we saw from over the weekend. We're now only just a couple of days away from the regular season ending, so going over to see how this affected the standings as it sits right now. So as it sits right now, 6 teams in the Eastern Conference have hit the 90-point plateau, including 3 teams, the Lightning, the Leafs, and the Capitals have all hit triple digits. The Capitals are at 109 points and have clinched the Eastern Conference. The Leafs are 104 points, and the Bolts are at 100 points, all have clinched playoff berths. Then you have the 99-point Canes, the 98-point Panthers, and the 94-point Senators, who are in the first wildcard position, who have all hit the 90-point plateau and also have all clinched playoff berths. Then you have the 89-point New Jersey Devils, who have also clinched a playoff berth and are in third in the Metro Division. Then you have the Montreal Canadiens, who are in the last wildcard spot with 88 points with 2 games left to play. And the Jackets are the only other team left in the Eastern Conference who could still catch them. They're 3 points back at 85 points, also with 2 games left. So if the Canadiens win 1 more game, or if the Jackets lose 1 more game, then it's basically game over for the Jackets, but for the time being, they stay alive. Meanwhile, when you go over to the Western Conference, 9 teams have hit the 90-point plateau, including 5 teams who have hit the triple-digit mark. That is the Jets, Knights, Stars, Avalanche, and Kings, who have all hit triple digits. The Jets have hit 114 points and have won the league in the regular season, clinching the President's Trophy. The Knights are 107 points and have clinched the Pacific Division. The Stars are 106 points and are locked into the second spot in the Central. The Avalanche are 102 points. They have finished their season. They're the first team in the NHL to have finished the regular season, and they're locked into their third spot. And the Kings, who are 101 points, are in the second spot right now in the Pacific Division. All of them have clinched playoff berth. Then you have 99-point Oilers, who have also clinched a playoff berth. Then you have 3 teams fighting for the last 2 spots in the West. That's the 95-point Wild, who have 1 game left, and the 94-point Blues, who have 1 game left, and they're followed by the 92-point Flames, who have 2 games left. So Flames have an outside shot and still have a game in hand, but if the Wild or Blues both win, they're in. So interesting note there, lots of intriguing things from the past couple of days. That's what we're talking for today. Anything stuck out to you, or surprised at any games from the past couple of days? And what was your opinion on the standings as it's turning out? Definitely leave your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. That's all I'm going to talk for today. Remember to like this video, and if you'd like to subscribe below, really help with the channel. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Also a blog, to news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that, so check that out. I'll link that down in the description below, and can't wait to see you guys all for the next video. See you guys soon.